Jordan Peterson is a charlatan, a dumbass. He's clearly got some mental faculties, but he's been, I've never really dialed in much on him other than, I mean, my first entree into feasting on the Jordan Peterson Inc. industry is probably through the Majority Report show with Sam Cedar, when Michael Brooks used to bag on him all the time. So I was not like, I'm not the person that would be in his target audience. He's a right winger. He got famous initially from, he's a professor of psychology of some kind, although I've seen all kinds of breakdowns of him. He's quite well known. He's quite famous. You probably know more about him than I do. But doing his initial splash was refusing to acknowledge some kind of trans thing or some kind of pronoun, something or other. One of those gender flashpoints that the right loves and has been milking for years. And he's done an incredible job of milking. So he's like a cultural commentator. His book, 12 Rules for Life, I've seen referenced by people who who aren't like me. They're not like political junkies and they don't really watch this shit, but they heard reference like his book as if like cleaning your room is innovation. This guy's had all kinds of weird messes. People pick on him because he claimed to eat an all meat diet and stuff like that. So I've seen his kind of, he sort of has haunted the world. And I mean that in kind of he's around. He seems to get called out a lot. He seems to have a pretty loyal audience. I know he was touring or has done speaking engagements where Dave Rubin was his, opener or co-host or something. I don't know how those engagements went. I worked with Dave Rubin at TYT. He was a host. I was just some lackey behind, I was a red shirt. He was a cast member. I always found it very confusing why TYT had him on as a host, not because I knew that his politics were going to end up being this idiot right winger guy, but I just didn't get what people liked about him. He had a composure. He had like a look that was fine, that worked. He did stand up in the past. In fact, I'd performed on a show that Jimmy Dore hosted with Dave Rubin. Dave Rubin and I both did like 10-minute sets. So I've done comedy on a show with Dave Rubin. He got laughs. He wasn't great in any stretch, I would say, but he had a solid closing bit. I feel, even though I don't like Dave Rubin, I would definitely feel weird just giving up his punchline just as a comedian code thing. I don't know what that even means. Who cares? He's made himself very wealthy, being a suck. He used and partially leeching off of Jordan Peterson here. So people love, especially from the sides of the world that I kind of pay attention to, love dunking on Jordan Peterson, and I find it kind of entertaining. I've already worn myself out with this fucking podcast, so I don't have anywhere near the energy I thought I would when I was editing this earlier. But nevertheless, we're going to push forward. We're going to dig deep. I was just to finish that on Dave Rubin. Like, it always just was odd that TOT had hired him. Like, it was just, to me, even back then, because I was a long time like viewer of TOT starting in like 2007 or 8 or something like that. Paying member for much of those years too. Ended up working there, but it just always was like I always thought of Dave Rubin at TYT as being like a capable petting zoo guide. He would be able to take you from a topic and be like, all right, okay, we're going to talk about this topic now. Okay, well, that was the llama. All right, we're going to go over here and meet these nice big dogs. Okay, those are the nice big dogs. Okay, now we're going to go over here and meet this tiny horse. We got one of those little horses. It's full grown, believe it or not. Yuck, yuck. Like he didn't add anything. He just was able to introduce and then move it along and introduce. But TYT, they have who knows how they make decisions on those types of things. I don't think that they were necessarily the media geniuses that they were certainly hoping their investors would think. Anyway. Dave Rubin and has done a lot with Jordan Peterson, but here's on Theo Von, and he tells a story. This got called out on Twitter because he goes on about this thing known as a rat king, and he tells a story about what a real rat king is, and he was completely wrong about what it is, but nevertheless, it didn't stop him from launching the confidence missiles that are and the wisdom slurry that comes out of Jordan Peterson's mouth. His beautiful Canadian boy mouth. Here we go. But then we have the edited thing we're going to show you.
Are we rolling?
Nice rat.
Thanks, man. That's my nickname, is the Rat King.
So if you're not seeing it on video, Theo's wearing a T-shirt with like a rat logo on the breast. And it's kind of like a rat with a king on its thing. So I guess his nickname is the Rat King.
Oh yeah.
Oh. So that's kind of. Do you have a nickname?
Do you know what a Rat King is?
Huh?
What?
Do you know what a Rat King is? Oh my God! It's a terrible story. There is a Rat King.
I'm going to educate you now.
Well, this is the theory now. I don't know if people ever did this. So imagine your village is full of rats.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so now you go catch 10 rats.
Okay.
You throw them in a pit.
Okay.
Soon, there is one rat.
What?
Because he gets all the other rats.
He's a champ?
Then you throw 10 more rats in there. Soon there's one rat. You do that 3 or 4 times. Then you take the remaining rat and you let him go. And soon there are no rats in the village.
Really?
That's the theory.
Wow. So it was like the toughest of them all.
Yeah, and then he learns to eat rats.
Wow.
Good storyteller, huh? What a charismatic speaker. He does have above average charisma overall in public speaking engagements, I would say. But he's very full of himself, to be sure. I remember reading a profile years ago or something about him, and he has like his Twitter, he's very big on Twitter, or he's had phases where he gets big on, because Twitter's gone through its own different phases, where I guess it's like his bed spread, like his quilt was a printout, like a custom made quilt of his Twitter profile. That memory just popped up. So people have pointed out that, first of all, that's not what a Rat King is. We'll explain what it is afterwards. I have a political angle to that too, about what Rat Kings are. I do refer to it occasionally, a form of solidarity that the ruling class has because they're all entwined. I'm gonna just say it. We'll see it later. But a Rat King is like when they find like a bundle of rats whose tails have become knotted up and matted together, and so that they can't separate. So it's like this horrifying circle, a star, a clock face, if you will, an emoji like the sun with the rats pointing out in all directions, all centered around their tails that are all bundled up together. So I can't imagine it happens living in clean conditions or something like that. So that's what's known as a Rat King. That's like the thing that, because there's been examples found throughout history. I have a Wikipedia page to look at later. The Rat King he's talking about is the Rat King that survives being forced to eat all the other rats in a village. It's because it's been placed into a bucket. So it's about domination, you see. You got to dominate, otherwise the world does not make sense. Mediocre losers and my incel base would all crumble upon learning of egalitarianism. He's a big hierarchy guy. He's a big natural hierarchies are natural. Ladies, get in line, you fucking bitches. Dudes, you should control your ladies, you fucking little twerps. So as people pointed out, though, he was likely sourcing that information from one of my favorite films, Skyfall, starring Daniel Craig, who is James Bond in real life. So I took it in here. You can probably tell in my Premiere software here. That's just the video there. I did a little edit here. This is a big, this is a fairly simple one there. Then I decided to juice it up a bit more and make it a bit more palatable. So I'm going to post this as a separate video. This feels like one of those videos that could easily get stolen, and then someone was going to make get a ton of views because they'll have the algorithm juiced up better than I can. But so people are comparing before I play it. Jordan Peterson's story is incredibly similar, or at least seems to be sourced from a speech that the bad guy gives in Skyfall. The bad guy played by Javier Bardem, who is a really great, intense actor. Very, very. He's like ugly handsome. You know, he's one of those ugly handsome guys, I think I would say. Just a powerful presence. He plays the psycho dude in No Country for Old Men who jacks people up with that cow plug, that bolt gun that just sticks a bolt out a few inches. You know, there's a bunch of scenes in that movie that are really intense. Great movie. Really good for a fun date night. Really gets your girl warmed up. So I'm just gonna let it play though. I'm trying not to give it all away. This is probably more fun ingested a little bit more organically. Let's go big. Yeah. All right. Can't see the thing. That's okay. That's all right. Let me just do this though. Here. Nope, not that one. So here's the video. And so this is Jordan Peterson and Javier Bardem doing a two-man play. The same scene by two different thespian professionals.
Are we rolling?
Nice rat.
Thanks, man.
Hello, James. Welcome.
That's my nickname is the Rat King.
Oh, yeah.
Do you like the island?
Do you know what a rat king is?
Huh?
My grandmother had an island.
Do you know what a rat king is?
One summer, we went for a visit and discovered the place had been infested with rats.
Oh, my God. It's a terrible story.
They'd come on a fishing boat and gorged themselves on coconut.
So imagine your village is full of rats.
Oh, yeah.
We buried an oil drum and hinged the lid.
Okay, so now you go catch 10 rats.
Okay.
Then we wired coconut to the lid as bait, and the rats would come for the coconut, and plunk, 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 plunk. They would fall into the drum. And after a month, we've trapped all the rats. But what did you do then?
You throw them in a pit.
Okay.
Throw the drum into the ocean? Burn it? No. You just leave it.
Soon, there is one rat.
And they begin to get hungry.
Because he gets all the other rats.
He's a champ.
And one by one, they start eating each other.
Then you throw 10 more rats in there.
Until there are only two left, the two survivors.
Soon there's one rat. You do that 3 or 4 times.
And then what? Do you kill them? No.
Then you take the remaining rat and you let him go.
You take them and release them into the trees.
And soon there are no rats in the village.
Really?
That's the theory.
But now they don't eat coconut anymore. Now they only eat rat.
Wow. So it was like the toughest of them all.
You have changed their nature.
Yeah, and then he learns to eat rats.
Wow.
Okay. I don't know. Was that fun? I thought that was fun. Oh, so what it is actually is you ever heard of a cat king? Well, it's when you've got 16 cats and each one wants to have sex with the female cat, which of course it's not her decision because it's a natural hierarchy, just like the lobsters. Yeah, that's fun. I think that's cool. I hope that worked. I'm going to put that up as a separate video, I think. I don't know if I should have my logo. I feel that's, I don't know. Should I credit Theo Von? He's super big. He makes like a ton. He's got like a huge show. I don't know if he's going to be like, hey, this guy's trying to take my, I'm not pretending to be Theo. Yeah. All right. I don't know what else there is to say. Jordan Peterson's a dumbass. Oh, the Rat King. We should get into, I just want to show you that real quick.